Welcome back to the Wet Mammal channel. Today we are getting stuck into a quick little dive after a big night shift with kingfish as the main target. Let's see how we can go. We encountered some incredible scenes. I was a little bit tired, but we got it done. Spearfishing in Sydney really can be quite quick, easy and tasty. And we make up a sensational sushi platter at the end. You guys are going to love this. Stay tuned.
Alrighty guys, big night shift last night. I'm off the back of a 16-hour shift, but I am super keen to get in the water and just go out and see if we can smack a kingfish. It is, yeah, a bit silly, and I definitely don't recommend doing this at home, but I need to get in the water. Like after that shift, I need to get in the water and just relax, and if I can get a kingfish from Poseidon, then I'll be super stoked. So let's get some sashimi. Mon's not doing too well. She's a bit crook, but she's got massive FOMO with the ocean. So she's gonna come out and be a ski operator and just keep an eye on me because I am pretty tired. So it's not the most safe conditions that I've ever dove in, but let's go get it. It's gonna be wicked.
Now, there wasn't too much pre-recording at the boat ramp and everything just because of I was knackered and we were keen to have a quick little dip, smack a kingfish and then head home so I could get some rest because I was exhausted. So sorry about the lack of the journey, but we get stuck straight into the water, bump straight into this jelly blubber. These things are absolutely awesome. Sometimes they can have all kinds of like juvenile trevally and small little fish living inside them. They're amazing. There's Mon. She's not going to join. She's a bit under the weather, but she's being an absolute hero and coming out on the jet ski and just keeping an eye on things, keeping it a little bit safer. She actually is doing that because she gets major FOMO when she misses out on anything to do with the ocean, so she always comes along even if she's a little bit crook. We get stuck into the dive-in and the viz is quite nice. We did have to move around areas quite a few times to find this viz, but I'm happy diving in this at solo. This is actually really nice. Sydney does go through crazy visibility variables where you'll have green for weeks and then all of a sudden you can just find a little patch of blue, and that's exactly where we are. We're on the prowl just for kingfish really. I would take a bonito. You can see that the wind isn't up, which is great. I'm taking this Acropora throw flasher out for a spin, trying to draw in some kingfish. The likely species that you draw in from a flasher in Sydney are of course bonito, salmon and kingfish. So let's see if we can get a kingfish on the go. Now these are eastern pomfret and I highly recommend, if you see big schools like this, just dive in amongst it. It is absolutely mesmerizing. These things are beautiful, but often when you're inside a big school of bait or fish like this, you can draw in predatory fish, which is a massive perk. So hang in there. Other fish kind of work out what you're doing if you're trying to hunt those fish, what you're doing, and you can sometimes land yourself a nice fish. Here we've got a big school of brim. They come through. They're real nervous Nellies at this time of the year. I'm not quite sure why, but they seem to be way easier to hunt throughout the year, apart from around Christmas through till Australia Day. They're always on the move. I don't know if they're migrating and moving through or what, but that's just my experience. Don't get anything on them. I do get some bonito come past me and I'm holding the throw flasher and I'm just trying to give it some action, make it seem as if the fish that the throw flasher is under attack by me and that a fish might get a bit of breakaway food off me eating the throw flasher, but it doesn't work. They go off into the distance, never to be seen again. This flasher works okay. It definitely draws in fish. We had salmon come in on it as well on a dive that wasn't recording, and it comes with a super handy weight belt slot, so you can actually have your throw flasher on your weight belt. You're not having to tuck it up into your wetty or into your sleeve and potentially lose it, which is a massive perk to that. Not much is happening, so we decided to go to the esky and get out some old salmon skin, and the salmon skin brings in some salmon. So it's always worthwhile holding on to your fish skins and all your offcuts and everything and putting them into a bag, freezing them and using them as burley for when times get tough. This obviously can draw in sharks. If you go for a big bloody gutty burley bag, yeah, you can get sharks, and we have had sharks here. Just recently there was a 4-meter white shark not too far from this spot, so definitely take care if you're using burley. It attracts fish, but it can attract big fish as well. Now whilst I'm diving down, I can see that there's a rock cod over next to the wobbegong's tails. They are absolutely delicious. I'm not going to shoot a red rock cod on that kind of rock structure with a fully loaded gun. We're going to go up to the surface, we're going to depower the gun and dive down again. The reason why we do this is because of there's so much rock around there. Any shot that I potentially could take on that red rock cod could cause my spear to blunt. And of course, as I'm diving down, I check my surroundings, and what do we have here? 3 kingfish. I ignore the kingfish and he comes in closer, as if he's annoyed with me ignoring him. I take a shot, and I'm obviously only on the lowest point of my power on my spear, which isn't going to give me a super crazy shot, but the aim right gets it done, and I still punch through his gill and punch through onto the other side of his face. I do play the fish quite lightly because of I can't tell if the flopper has actually deployed or if I'm just hung up in its gill rakers or something like that. We make our way to the surface, and I'll play this one gently until I can get a good observation that that flopper is deployed. It's a good holding shot, and we can go from there. If this wasn't on a lower power on the spear gun, I'd have no qualms at all with that shot being almost perfect. I was probably only about an inch away from a stone shot, which I didn't account for the lack of power on the lowest band, but we got it done. Let's haul this puppy in and see. No matter the size of a fish, you could be on a 35 centimeter fish, you could be on a meter fish. It's always a bit nerve-wracking when you've got the fish right on the end of your spear and you haven't actually been too sure if your flopper's been deployed. So don't just skull drag it up. That's how you tear through fish and lose fish. I almost never lose fish, and I can occasionally put bad shots into fish, but from learning to play the line, something that comes with experience, just be super gentle, and yeah, you'll know what to do. I can see here that the shot is, yeah, probably about an inch forward and half an inch below where I wanted it to go for the brain shot, and I put the mistake on the lower power setting that I had the gun on, and had I had full power, that shot wouldn't have dropped and I would have hit him square where I wanted to. So absolutely stoked with that, and it was only when I was reeling them in that I've discovered I've got a tagged fish.
Alright, so just nailed little king. Absolutely stoked with that. Quick morning dip. Time to go home and cook this puppy up. Oh wait. Oh, we're not going to cook him now, but later. Get in. Get him. Oh. Yeah. You see something? Again! Oh no! Alright, let's go. She's been in the fridge for a fair while now, and yeah, we weighed her in. She came in at 7.6 kilos, and that's a little bit dehydrated, so just need to take that into consideration when we give the data to the fisheries. But yeah, so we're going to fill her up, and we're going to keep the frame on this one so that we can send off the beautiful frame to fisheries.
The flies can get really hairy, so we're going to try and rush through this as quickly as possible, get the filleting done, and we're going to dry age some of the fish, and we're going to freeze some of the fish because we're going to portion this up for mates, family, and of course fish tacos, sashimi, sushi, poke bowls. Most of the fish that I catch I actually prefer to have raw. There's only a few that I would really go hard on cooking. Definitely go for those raw recipes over the standard kind of crumb and fry. And here we have the tag. So we just give a yank on the tag.
We've pulled the tag out, we've got to clean her up, and then we'll take the code off it and submit it to fisheries. Okay, so it's getting very flyy here, but we have the frame, and yeah, we're now going to freeze this, and then we're going to drop it off at a deposit site, and yeah, fisheries are going to come collect it, and then we'll get some even more information on this kingy. How good?
Now we retreat inside because the flies were just getting absolutely ridiculous. We get on to filleting. I'm using the Toadfish Outfitters filleting knife. I do need to give this a sharpen. I've owned it for a couple years now and I actually haven't sharpened it. You can see I'm making some pretty average cuts in there. That's not the knife, that's literally just I haven't sharpened this blade in a very long time and it's filleted an awful lot of fish. So, and it's been used as a chopping knife whilst we've been away on some of our trips. I absolutely love processing the fish. It's one of my favourite parts once you get out of the water. It's just so fun to kind of portion everything up, think of the meals, bag things up. And it's just an awesome skill to continue to hone. Nobody's going to be the absolute best at it, but every time you do it, you get a little bit better at it, and I just find it super fun. Especially now that we're bagging everything up into Ziploc bags and vac seal bags, which we can then portion up and give to our friends and family, which is again an awesome feeling that you're providing for your friends and family. One of the beautiful gifts that spearfishing gives us. And here we go with the kick-ass portable vac sealer back in action. This thing is an absolute champion, and I love the fact that you can run it off mains or 12 volt, or you can run it off its actual battery, which is good for around 50 vac seals I've discovered, which is plenty to do you for a small trip between charging or to process multiple fish in a single day. Now I am sorry that I didn't film the making of the sushi. I did get a few requests after I posted an Instagram post that we'd done a sushi, if I could include a how-to video. The next time that I do sushi, you know what, I'm gonna commit to it and I am gonna do some rolling. I'm not the best at making sushi, but I do try, and lots of it are about presentation. If you've got good presentation, you can make up for the lack of skill I've found, but I'll definitely be sure to showcase how to make rolls and simple nigiri and do some sashimi cuts. And honestly, nothing gets me salivating than the look of raw fish and sushi. I don't eat sushi commercially anymore, so when we make it at home, it is a real treat because it's one of my favorite foods on the planet. And shout out to Mum for the awesome Christmas present of the ocean serving platters. Here we have it. We've done a sushi with the kingfish, which I'm super excited about. I love a bit of kingfish sushi. This stuff is really, really tasty, and we're going to kick it off straight away with a bit of nigiri. Actually, you know what? Get a little bit of wasabi, little cheeky soy dip for the wasabi, brush that over, and now we find out how good the integrity of Mom's nigiri is. The nigiri holds up. Let's get into it. This is going to be unreal. Wow. The rice is perfect, the fish is perfect, soy wasabi hits well. That is amazing. Alright, so now we're going to get into the sashimi. Super excited, bit of a big soy dip, and here we go. That is delicious. Perfectly thinly sliced, if I don't say so myself, and just, yeah, what an incredible flavour on kingfish. This works really, really well with goatfish, even yakkers if you want to give that a go, but then a whole heap of species. Snapper's okay, mahi is really, really good, just to name a few, but yeah, what a special treat. So I guess we're gonna wait and find out what happens next with the tag. I'll be sure to update everybody in the next episode or whenever I get the information back, because of a few of you are keen to find out, and I know like it excites me to find out where that kingfish was. So yeah, that's pretty much it for the episode. Massive thank you for watching. I hope you've enjoyed, and don't forget to like and subscribe if you haven't already. Drop a comment if you need a hand with sushi or something like that, or anything. Just drop a comment. It massively helps the engagement on the channel, and I really appreciate you guys hanging around. And yeah, until next time, stay wet, stay fed, catch ya.